Hi everyone, Tony from Hearns, back with part 2 of the TT-01 build. Last time we got it to the point where we had the whole rear end done, motor in, prop shaft in. Now we move in to the front end. We'll just swap these boxes over. First up, the front arms, which are the B parts tree. The B parts tree is not this, obviously. That's right, the B parts tree, as I said to you earlier, was in fact the flexible one. So B9 and B10. Not B1 and B2, that's bananas in pajamas. There we go. Now these little inserts are from the P parts tree. Now, I can't remember what that one's like. I'm going to have a quick look through here. There are the P parts. It's the servo saver one. That makes it easier to find. We'll have a look over here. I think that might be in the bag. And it is. Let's chuck all these back in there. P parts tree. You can see it's the right one, they've all fallen out. Now, I'll just be using my JPRC tool, push that in there, and that is in. If you want to check, you put something in them just to make sure that it does move around. It says to grease these. I'm not a big fan of that. It just seems to attract dirt and it's just not necessary. The two different types of plastic seem to sort of self-lubricate. They're done. Let's get back onto doing diff parts again. We've already done one of these, but now we need to do the second one, and we need some metal gears. There's another metal gear bag. We'll open that one up. Another good get is one of these silicone rubber build mats. This is a sweep one, and it's good because you can just chop into things with your knife and you don't have to worry about it. Well worth getting. This particular mat has built hundreds of kits and it's still in excellent condition. So we'll just put a little bit of grease in there. Now the spider gear with the little bevel gears. Put that up. Alright, there's enough grease in there for sure. Turn that round, make sure it's working. And Oops, forgot to put a little bit on here as well, just on the mating surfaces. Line that up and that goes straight on. Now you'll remember in the first episode I wasn't able to, had to find a screwdriver for this, which I've now got. Whoa! That was very nearly a 4-hour episode on the floor trying to find that screw. Now I've only got one of those, which means the others must be in here. That's, oh, yeah, well we're under the B parts bag, which I didn't open up, and there's some more screws in there. Like, there's lots of them. We'll get those out. Oh. There we go. They're the ones we want. 1, 2, 3. These diffs go together very, very easily. And they're almost indestructible, I would suggest. Oh, I can't say I've ever broken one. I've broken a couple of the Tamiya spool diffs. The outdrives on those are pretty weak and they tend to break. But these standard gear diffs are just unburstable. Screw that up. And that's done. Now we'll grab the front, we'll grab the whole chassis. There's an 1150 bearing that slots in there. It fits in and slides right down. You can see it way down there. That's in the correct position. And we need P3, which is a spacer. Now the P parts tree, as we discovered before, was the servo saver one. Should have left it out, shouldn't I? There it is. P3, it's just a little spacer, but it's necessary. Now, what did I do with my nippers? I left them in the box. We'll just nip that off. That slides over. Push it down. So that's good. So we've got ball bearing, a P3. Now we need another ball bearing. And when that's all incorrectly, you can see it all sits very flush. So that's good. You put the bevel gear on. That's good. We'll just put just a little hint of grease on this. And now the diff gear. We need a couple of bearings for that, which are these ones, 1280s. And again, not too much Tamiya grease. Now this will all go in nicely. Yep, turning that round, that all works, so that's good. I'm going to use my JPRC shock pliers to hold it all up. So we're done here. Now we're at the same situation that we were with the back end when everything goes together, but it likes to fall apart while it's happening. So we've got this. Again, triple check the orientation. We've got that here. You can see that little bulge up there? That's this. So we know that's right for there. And this is right for this side. We need the A parts tree. And remember there's two of those. That's the B. I think this is the A. This is the A parts tree, and this is the bit we're looking for. It's the rear upper mount. This all goes together exactly the same as the rear does. That sits there. That's going to fall out every bloody time. Again, I'm just going to slot that on and just add a 3x10 just to hold it for now. So that's good. I'll put this back in. A9 is the front of the housing. So we'll look for A9. What did I do with this? Here we go. A9. That goes in there. We'll just coax that all in. And A10 is the front mount, the upper shock mount. So I'm just going to cut that off with one hand. Now this is the same as the rear. There's two M3x15s and an M3x12. So if I can find the 12, I'm just going to do this one up loosely yet again. Whoops, which doesn't hold it together because the 12 just holds it to the housing. It's the 15s that hold it to the rear housing, the rear part of the housing. So just one of those will do it, and I'll undo the 12. Alright, so that's done for now. We'll turn that over and we'll get the lower wishbones, which are B10s on the flexible parts tree. Now, I'll move my shock pliers again because I want to put these balls in. These ball rings, I'm not sure what they're called, but we'll just put those in. Now again, this part goes to the back. It's symmetrical about that center line, so it doesn't really matter which way. This goes to the back, so I'll just pull that out. There's one. And here's the other one. Done. So therein I can now do up the M3x15s that hold it all together, and it'll stop falling apart. Still got a bit more to go. Man. Okay. So that's covered all of that. So we're good with that. What's next? Rear bumper. I don't need to know what parts tree it is because I can see it because it's big. Goes in there. Once again, it's countersunk screws. We'll do that. Another drink. I'm out of water now, that'll be the end. Now, I've just realised that I've been a dickhead because I forgot that these aren't actually exactly the same as what the rear is. So oh no, it's all right, I'm okay. I knew there were these little caps that go on here, but they don't need to go on until after I've actually done the right thing. I went, oh no, wrong thing, but I haven't. Let's get back to these M3 by 10s to hold the rear bumper on. Glad this JIS screwdriver is magnetic. We'll put these three in. Right about now, I'm wishing I had a JIS bit for my electric screwdriver. Well, hand gets a bit sore after a while. Just flip that over. Alright, that's good. That's done. Now we need these little caps, A1. It's slightly different at the front end because it has to steer as well as hold the suspension in. So that's part of A. We need the other A parts tree, which is here. Now I need to do the front uprights, which is these. We'll just snip those off. I haven't built one of these for about 2 years now, but a lot of it is just coming back and I'm not having to look at the instructions necessarily. Need just to use these 1, 2, push that through there and then done. Then another one. That's done. Now the last of them out of the joint bag. These, just turn them around till they engage. And on both sides. Well, oh, now we have a bit of a staple there. Again, small amount of grease on the ends of these. Slot it in. Now, turn that round till it fits into the end. Now these go inside. So there's the difference between here and the rear of the car. The upper pivot pin goes straight through. Here it's very different because it needs to be able to turn to steer. So it's set up like that. Then you get the A1 cup, which goes there. And there's what's the screw? It's an M3x10. What a surprise! That goes through there. Resist the temptation to tighten the crap out of this. It just needs to be tight enough to hold. Now, okay, that's actually too tight. You can feel it if it's too tight. There'll be a lot of resistance. I just need to back that off a little bit. Maybe even a little bit more. Okay. That's all right. Now we'll flip this over and do the other side. Get the A1 cup, put that on. Okay, now we pull that. That's got a lot of movement, that's fine. I'm just going to check. This can actually go a little bit tighter. Okay, that's good. Let's do the other side. We've already got the outdrive cup in there. We just need a bit of grease again. Put that into the outdrive. Seat the bottom one. Turn the outdrive until the dog bone goes in, and then just make sure that's right. Let's bring that back over here so you can see. Sorry if I keep moving the thing around. It's a natural tendency to just sort of bring the thing closer to me, and that isn't always the best way to go. Let's screw that up. We'll turn it over into the bottom. And as you can see, we're almost there in terms of the complete drivetrain. Not a whole lot left to do. Screw it all up. Just a final check, make sure everything's loose. So that's most of that done. Now, just as an aside, you'll note that I put these screws in earlier just to hold it in. They will come out because they get replaced when the top deck goes on a little bit later. So I'm just leaving them as they are for now. So we're good on that. Again, the body mount posts I'm going to leave off for now. They get in the way because they stick up. So I leave them off and I put them on last. So that's all done. Now, shock absorbers. They're not really shock absorbers. They're just, I don't know, boingy bits. Because they're not oil filled or anything. It's just a friction damper. And not exactly a lot of friction. We'll get out the B parts tree. And just start snipping off all the bits. If you want to get a bit more serious with your TT-01, there are of course optional parts, proper dampers that you can get. But if you just want to play around, which is generally the case with the TT-01, although they can be raced successfully, our own Brett has done more than well enough with his. And they're actually very, because the things are so tough, they do quite well in racing, because they might finish where other cars won't. We'll just break all those bits off now. These are $1 million God hand cutters, but they've been butchered over the years, so they're actually not the best ones ever. But they'll do for now. We just need to get the stuff going. A few more bits to go yet. I normally do this quite slow. It's almost a meditative thing for me. Now I know we're going to need the springs, and here they are. Okay, now because these are so basic, they go together very, very easily. It's the main shaft. This goes on. This goes in here. The spring goes on. This slides in. Actually, I put that bit in prematurely, didn't I? Should have known better. Silly TFG. All in too much of a hurry because I've got to retain the shock cap. Where's? We'll just get these big ass ones. that'll do the job. See, got too overconfident, thought I knew what I was doing, but I didn't. Put that in. That goes in there because what this does is actually retain that cap. Now do that, that. Just keep turning that round, done. So we've got one. Normally when I do shocks on a build video, I do 3 off camera and just build 1 on camera because it takes so long to do them. These are so quick that that's not necessary. I can do all 4 quicker than I can do 1 normal shock. Some of you will be looking at this go, oh, how do you do it so quick? Yeah, it's pretty easy really. These are very, very simple shocks. There's a number of things you can do to improve them. Putting some grease inside will add some damping because at the moment they don't have any damping at all. And a bit of damping is always good. But if you're only going to be bashing with the car, does it really matter? Maybe not. 1, 2, 3. Let's get the last one together. Then we can bolt them on. There we go. You won't see too many cars that have got all 4 shocks assembled in them like about 5 minutes with an idiot like me doing it. Now we need some shoulder screws for that, which are in this bag. Let's leave that there. Just need to note where they go, so we'll do the rear first. And it goes into the innermost hole. Whoops. So this is what happens when you're trying to do it too fast. And you should just take your time. Again, I'm just screwing it in a little bit. And now I can do the lower mounts. There's only one lower mount, so you can't get that wrong. These pretty much fall into place, so it's very, very easy. Here I am saying it's very, very easy, and everything's falling apart. Alright, it's easy for a normal person maybe, not for me. Okay, we'll just screw these on. How good is this? You've basically got a complete chassis now. On to the front, and it's the same shock position. on the inner hole. So I'm going to leave that there. We've got the shocks on. All that we've really got left to do now is steering and a few other little bits and pieces, and then we'll go on to doing the electronics, and we should have this thing going at the end of the next session. So I'm Tony from Hearns. This is the TT-01 build. Thanks for watching.